Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to be showing you how I made a 90s / early 2000s inspired mini dress. This dress was inspired by the crushed velvet mini dress from the movie My Date with the President's Daughter that came out in 1998. This movie is a deep cut within the Disney Channel original movie universe and is only available to stream on YouTube now. But the image of this dress is burned into my mind's eye so vividly that I knew that I had to recreate it at some point. This dress has a cute little white trim and an awesome lettuce leaf finish that had me really excited, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Okay, so I was struggling a bit with how to format this video because here's the thing. It took me 2 tries to make this dress properly. And you know, that wasn't because it was hard. It was because I chose the absolute wrong fabric for the first one, and you know what? That's on me. So instead of you just watching a video of me absolutely struggling to make a dress that ultimately never comes to fruition, in a separate video, or me just showing you the footage of me working on the good dress, which makes me look like a sewing goddess, I just thought I should show you both because I learned some important stuff along the way. So if you're only interested in the good dress and are not at all interested in my zero to hero narrative, you can go ahead and fast forward to the time that I'm going to put on the screen in my post edit right now. So remember to like and subscribe if you like this video. Okay, you're free to go. So first of all, I added this little bar of cardboard so that when I do eventually drape the fabric over, the fabric won't sink between the 2 boob lumps. I don't know, there is an actual term for this. I don't know what it is, I'm new. That's why I did that. I drafted the form-fitting pattern out of paper on my dress form, then cut out the pieces on some muslin. I think this is good enough, maybe. I don't know what I'm doing. I wasn't super sure about the final pattern piece for the top, but I figured I'd cross that bridge when I got there. Well, if this isn't the bridge I said I would cross when I came to it. Okay, I'm gonna just see what happens when I do this. This could be bad. It could also be genius. We don't know. I'm just gonna leave it as excess for now and just like see what happens, you know? Just like see what happens. That's my plan. It's like obviously uneven. I feel like I have to make the choice of like which direction I want to go in. Oh God. Alexa, play the TikTok Oh No song. I don't have an Alexa. I do have a Google Home. So because I prefer this side to this side, I'm gonna cut it down the middle and fold over my fabric to get this pattern piece out. All right, so I just cut out this piece and flipped it over to make sure that it would also work on this side. So I'm suspicious because I feel like this went better than I thought it was gonna go. Here I'm drafting the bottom of the skirt out of muslin and cutting out the separate pieces. Then I traced the pattern onto the fabric before cutting it and draping it onto the dress form, where it sat a little bit too loose for my taste, but I decided to do nothing about it. I would come to regret this later. I sewed the 2 large pieces of fabric together, and then the next step was to use this fancy little bias tape foot to attach the white trim. Oh shit. Okay, Cole, I actually might need your help trying to like squeegee this up. She thick. Oh! Maybe this is just a sign that I need to put the zipper closure lower. Why is her butt so big? Oh my God, stop. Go. I put it on backwards, that's what's wrong. That's what's going on here. It's going on the wrong way. That's the issue. That's it.
Sounds like a person.
No, I got it. I got it. Woo! Woo! She did it. She beat him. She thick indeed. And I'm gonna have to do this again. So I sewed one side together and realized that if I make any mistakes on this fabric, it's gonna show through. Particularly this line of stitching that I had to fix. This isn't good, guys. So something happened. I realized that the special bias binding foot that I was using was really just like sandwiching the bias tape over the fabric, which is fine if you want the stitches to show, but in hindsight, I really don't want the stitches to show. It's kind of looking a little bit less polished now, and I'm not super happy with it. I might even scrap the project because this fabric shows everything, like every little mistake, because of the type of fabric it is. And so me having to take out all these stitches, if I can't cover them, I feel like it's just kind of a wash. I'm really bummed.
Here I am trying to reattach the bias tape while background watching Imposters and holding back tears.
Okay, so I did some finagling with this bias tape, so hopefully it will look like this now, where you won't be able to see the stitches from the front. I stitched one side together properly. I folded out the second flap, and I'm going to be stitching it to the piece that's hanging over so that you can't see the stitch. Just kind of some finagling work. Hopefully this works, and hopefully it doesn't look stupid. You guys. You fucking guys. Okay, so your girl was really excited about fixing the front top portion of the dress using the wide bias tape in that little finagly way that I did. You saw the smile on my face. I was stoked. Then I ran out of extra wide bias tape and decided to go to the fabric store, which after coming out of a demoralized place and then being on an uptick, really riding that high, I was reinvigorated, I would say. That's like going to the grocery store when you're hungry. It was not a great idea, but I think that this is something that I have to do, or else I will regret even starting this project. So what happened was I went in there. Okay, wait, let's rewind for a second. When I was at the fabric store initially choosing the fabric that I chose for the pink version of this dress, they did not have any sort of stretch type velvet or velour type of fabric. So I went with a stiffer fabric, and that's why I had to add darts. It's looking a little baggy, which isn't what I wanted. I wanted it to be a tight fit, but they just so happened to have a stretchy version of this crushed velvet fabric, but it is exactly what I needed. And something that's been concerning me since the beginning of the project when I started with that other fabric is that I'll have to do a lettuce leaf finish on the bottom, and because that fabric is so thick, I just don't know if it's going to be possible. And if it's not possible, it's just kind of going to look like a potato sack. I don't know. So I'm restarting. I will finish the first dress once I finish this bad boy.
After some of what I like to call drapey, eggs and bakey, plus some cutting and sewing, I completed the basic silhouette for the dress. Because it's so simple, it took me about an hour to do all of this and made me really think about how my poor choice in fabric wasted so much time. Next, I redeemed myself by properly adding some extra wide fleece bias tape. With the previous fabric, I made the mistake of steaming it too high of a temperature, and it left a little bit of a mark, so I tested a small swatch before taking my iron directly to the dress on my dress form. Steam. Here's what the dress looked like before I hemmed it. Honestly, lots of 90s prom vibes. To make a lettuce hem, pull the fabric from both ends as you run it through your sewing machine. This will create a wave-like texture that will slowly shape into a lettuce-looking finish after a few minutes of resting. The tighter you pull your fabric, the more apparent the lettuce waves will be, resulting in the 90s vibes of your dreams. Now it's time to look at the final product. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Here's all the content I background watched and listened to while working on this project. My Date with the President's Daughter, 4 out of 5 stars, aged shockingly well. Marrying Millions, fantastic chaos, loved it, 5 out of 5 stars. Imposter Season 1, 4 out of 5 stars. Imposter Season 2, 2 out of 5 stars, nowhere near as good as Season 1. And last but nowhere near least, The Morbid Podcast, which, as always, gets a 5 out of 5 stars.